For most people, the idea of wealth is tied to what they can buy. But financial maturity isn't just about having more money. It's about needing less of what doesn't matter. It's a shift in mindset where your spending becomes change, and your priorities become clearer. You know where your money's going and why. And that's the real sign you're getting somewhere. Let's walk through everyday things that start to disappear from your spending once you've truly reached financial maturity. Financial maturity starts showing in everyday choices. One of the clearest signals is the ability to pass on constant upgrades. Whether it's the latest phone, new gadgets, or even a newer car model, the urgency to upgrade slows down. Not because of scarcity, but because the return on investment starts to look different. A slightly older phone still performs the same functions. The car still gets to the destination. Time and money are no longer easily traded for short-term satisfaction. That patience, often invisible from the outside, is one of the strongest indicators of financial maturity. Another sign is the decline of brand obsession. Earlier on, labels may have represented progress. They seem to validate effort, but as financial thinking matures, the power of branding loses its grip. A plain shirt that fits well feels just as good. A meal from a local spot can taste better than a 5-star menu. The focus shifts from impressing others to finding actual utility, and in doing so, expenses drop while satisfaction increases. There's no need to prove status when it's already secure internally. Impulse buying starts to fade too. Those random purchases at the mall or last-minute online orders don't happen as often. Spending becomes more intentional. There's more pause between wanting something and acting on it. This isn't just about budgeting, it's about control. Knowing how to sit with the desire instead of rushing to fulfill it is a sign that money decisions are no longer reactive. They're considered strategic, calm. Financial maturity also shows in the decline of lifestyle comparison. Social media, neighbors, or coworkers might still display their version of success, but it doesn't trigger envy the way it might have before. There's a clearer understanding that what people display doesn't always reflect their reality. A flashy lifestyle might come with debt, stress, or financial instability. Quiet comfort becomes more attractive than public praise. There's more value placed on financial freedom than social validation. Subscription habits change too. Services once kept just in case get reevaluated. Streaming platforms, premium plans, unnecessary memberships, many of them get canceled. The focus becomes clearer. Pay for what's used, cut what isn't, and the result is surprising. Not only do monthly expenses shrink, but peace of mind grows. Managing finances becomes less overwhelming when everything being paid for serves a clear purpose. Another subtle shift is the way groceries and daily items are purchased. Maturity doesn't mean buying the cheapest option. It means buying smart. Generic brands often offer the same quality as name brands. Bulk purchases are made when they lead to actual savings. Discounted items are considered if they fit the regular routine. Waste is reduced. Decisions are less emotional and more logical. Credit is handled differently as well. Instead of being a tool to extend lifestyle, it becomes a tool to build leverage. Credit cards are paid off in full each month. Loans are taken only when they serve a long-term benefit. The idea of carrying debt for consumer goods feels uncomfortable, even if affordable. There's a growing appreciation for the freedom that comes with not owing anyone. Financially mature people often stop chasing sales. Discounts don't create excitement, they create questions. Is this something already needed? Or is the discount creating artificial urgency? Instead of focusing on price, focus shifts to value. A higher-priced item that lasts longer might be better than a cheaper item that needs frequent replacing. This mindset makes buying slower but far more effective over time. Travel choices also change. It's not about luxury for the sake of status. It's about comfort, safety, and creating meaningful experiences. A budget-friendly trip can offer more enjoyment than a high-cost, high-pressure vacation. Travel becomes less about proving financial ability and more about making memories without financial strain. And sometimes, not traveling at all and using that money to build security feels like a better use of resources. Dining habits shift from frequency to quality. Eating out every day becomes less attractive. Home-cooked meals are appreciated not just for their savings, but for the health and routine they bring. When dining out, the decision is more deliberate. Celebrations, meaningful conversations, or intentional time off. There's no longer a need to constantly outsource convenience when time and planning allow for better options. Even furniture and home decor get reevaluated. The need to match trends or constantly redecorate fades. Items are chosen for durability and comfort, not just appearance. Over time, every object in the house starts to reflect intention. not impulse. The home becomes less of a showroom and more of a reflection of practical choices. Big purchases become less emotional. Buying a car, relocating, or investing in a property involves less hype and more homework. Financially mature individuals take time to research, compare, and negotiate. There's less pressure to act fast and more awareness that every major decision affects future flexibility. The goal becomes maintaining options, not locking into appearances. Gifts and celebrations are handled with a similar mindset. Overspending to show care gets replaced with thoughtful simplicity. Presence starts to matter more than presence. Small but meaningful gestures take the place of expensive displays. Financially mature people don't buy out of guilt or competition. They give what makes sense, not what impresses. Financial maturity is also reflected in how income is viewed. More income isn't automatically translated to more spending. It's often directed into savings, investments, or debt reduction. Lifestyle inflation slows down. There's satisfaction in progress rather than pressure to upgrade. The difference between can afford and worth it becomes clearer with every decision. Emergency funds stop feeling optional. They become essential. Instead of thinking nothing will go wrong, mature financial thinkers prepare for what might. Medical expenses, job changes, or unexpected costs are no longer crises. They're just part of the plan. This creates peace, not from being wealthy, but from being ready. Health-related spending changes too. Preventive care is prioritized. Cheaper doesn't always mean better when it comes to long-term well-being. But at the same time, unnecessary wellness trends or supplements lose their appeal. The focus shifts to what's proven and sustainable rather than what's marketed and flashy. Entertainment becomes simpler. Streaming a show, going for a walk, enjoying a local event. These bring genuine satisfaction. Financially mature people don't chase excitement at the cost of stability. Joy is found in ordinary moments, not just expensive escapes. Even with investments, maturity shows in consistency. There's less chasing of hot stocks, trends, or risky plays. The goal is long-term. Index funds, steady contributions, and diversified portfolios take priority over hype. The wealth that grows this way is often quieter, but far more stable. What stands out the most, though, is the increased distance between emotions and money. Financial decisions aren't driven by mood, comparison, or peer pressure. They're guided by long-term thinking, data, and internal values. Spending slows down, saving becomes natural, investing becomes disciplined, and peace takes the place of panic. Financial maturity doesn't mean perfection. Mistakes still happen, but the difference is how they're handled. There's less shame, more learning, less reaction, more adjustment. It's not about never slipping, it's about being aware when it happens and having the structure to recover. At some point, money becomes a tool, not a goal. It supports life, but it doesn't dictate it. The decisions made around it become clearer. There's space between a want and a swipe. There's a plan behind each purchase. And that quiet confidence? It's built one habit at a time.